Hi guys, today I'm going to make a video response to a guy on YouTube called Tim H. I was inspired by his video Top 5 Lamest Superheroes to make a rip-off and call it Top 5 Lamest Supervillains. These are in no particular order, but the first supervillain I'm going to raise is Kite Man. Kite Man was brought into the DC universe in 1960 to be a foe of Batman. Unsurprisingly, Kite Man's main method of transportation was a kite, whereas Batman uses the Batmobile. The Batmobile, being a super awesome car that can fire machine guns, has morphed into a submarine and is just generally a high-tech beast on wheels. Now let's compare that to a kite, which is a piece of fabric that's vulnerable to high gusts of wind and getting caught in trees. It was once revealed that Kite Man had a childhood obsession with kites, which means he probably has the potential for the lamest prequel ever. Kite Man's weapon of choice was to throw kites at his victims. That's right, he's basically a supervillain that armed himself with something you can buy at Toys R Us and expected to take down the Batman. As you can probably guess, this pretty useless villain's plans failed, unless his plans were to fall off a building without his kite and then get eaten in prison by a gangster. Good job. And at number 2 we have Killer Moth. Killer Moth can definitely not be described as inconspicuous or stealthy. He wears a stupidly garish costume including green and purple spandex and an orange cape. One of his superpowers is ever so dashingly called Sticky Cocoon Mucus. That's right ladies, form an orderly queue, I see you pushing. There's enough Killer Moth Sticky Cocoon Mucus for everyone. I think one of the main reasons I dislike Killer Moth is that he's like a really lame parody of Batman, but a bad guy. Instead of aiding the police like Batman does, Killer Moth assists villains, has a Mothmobile, and has his own moth signal. Considering that he's a moth, surely he'd just fly towards his own moth signal because it's a big light. And at number 3 we have a supervillain called the Boomerang. The Boomerang was an early Hulk villain, but also faced Spider-Man in the past. He was a former baseball player who found a job as an assassin for the Secret Empire who gave him a new identity and his equipment. The Secret Empire must have been playing a pretty sadistic joke on him, because when they gave him his boomerang, they effectively armed a guy with a fancy stick to take on the Hulk. Needless to say, the Hulk won. Number 4, Calendar Man. Calendar Man is fascinated with dates and holidays throughout the year and coincides his crimes with them. This makes Calendar Man fairly predictable and people can usually work out when he's going to commit a crime. Calendar Man was also recruited by the Killer Moth. Before anyone in the comments does so, I ship it. Calendar Man and Killer Moth should have beautiful moth babies that are obsessed with days of the week. And lastly we have Crazy Quilt. Crazy Quilt looks really stupid. It's like he tried to buy a costume on the last day before Halloween, only to be left with the worst thing in the shop. This guy's insane, as well as a former painter who lost his eyesight and can only see extremely bright colours. His hypnotising helmet projects lights which allows him to see things, but it kind of makes him look a bit like a human disco ball. Even comparing Crazy Quilt to supervillains like the Joker, Magneto or Venom feels a little bit like comparing a Charizard to a Magikarp that's been repeatedly screwed in the head with a shotgun. So that's my list of top 5 lamest supervillains. If you agree with my list, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you disagree with the list, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you want me to tell your favourite out of the list, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you just simply feel like bashing your fists or face against the keyboard, feel free to do so. Like I said, this was a video response to a guy called Tim H. His videos are brilliant and I'd recommend you check them out. On the very small off chance that he sees this video, Tim, I'd just like to congratulate you on getting the role at Eddsworld. I'm sure you'll do an amazing job. That was the end of the video. Bye.